Hello again, and welcome to the latest bulletin from Haverhill UK News, brought to you by Haverhill TV. In the news for today, Tuesday, May the 14th, one of Haverhill's new UKIP Suffolk County Councillors has come out in strong support of reviving the rail link between Haverhill and Cambridge. A man who told Haverhill it could not have a pedestrianised high street has been sacked from Suffolk County Council's cabinet. And a business networking group is promoting a buy local week in the town next month. One of Haverhill's new UKIP Suffolk County Councillors has lost no time in stating his support for reviving Haverhill's rail link to Cambridge and claiming it is affordable. Tony Brown, elected less than a fortnight ago, has written a letter to the media in the run-up to a special meeting about rail renewal due to take place in the town next month. He says he hopes it's not just going to be talks about talks and could be a new dawn for the town. He said, "For too long we have been strangled by just having the A1307 as our only major link with the outside world. It wasn't good enough when the town's population was 10,000, and it definitely isn't good enough now that we have a population of 27,000 people. This is causing businesses problems, and the public have not got the transport links they deserve in a modern society. For our town to be taken seriously as the expanding tech hub of the future, we need the railway now, otherwise we will just be a backwater at the end of a badly congested, dangerous road from Cambridge." And Councillor Brown goes on to say it can be afforded from money not being wasted on the EU and on the London to Birmingham high-speed rail link. Haverhill's Thursday night van burglar has been in action again. Overnight on Thursday to Friday last week, 3 vans were broken into and items stolen. In Laurel Close, power tools were taken from a van broken into, and in Cleves Road it was music equipment that was stolen by breaking into another van. The thief was disturbed when trying a third van target in Seymour Drive at 2:10 AM, setting off the alarm. Police are again urging people not to leave property in vans overnight. The unpopular councillor Guy McGregor, who told Haverhill it could not have pedestrianisation, has been sacked from the new Suffolk County Council cabinet. The leader of Suffolk County Council announced on Friday who he intends to appoint to his cabinet on May the 23rd. And there is no place in it for Councillor McGregor, who had been portfolio holder for transport. Instead, he has been asked to take over the more ceremonial role of chairman of the council. The new man in charge of transport across the county will be Councillor Graham Newman, who had responsibility for schools in the previous cabinet. He will be an important figure in setting up the special meeting about solutions for Haverhill High Street, which Councillor McGregor had promised. Haverhill police have warned people to be careful about checking the identity of callers after a man tried to get into a house in the town posing as an Anglia Water official on Saturday lunchtime. When the householder challenged his lack of formal identification, he left, and subsequent inquiries proved he was nothing to do with Anglian Water. He is described as a chubby white male of ruddy complexion, aged 35 to 45, about 5 foot tall with brown hair. And if in doubt about any caller, you should always call police straight away. Haverhill Special Constables will be at Sainsbury's Cafe on Monday evening at 7:30 PM holding a recruitment drive. Anyone interested can go along and sign up, and there will be specials there to explain the role in detail. The Centre for Computing History is inviting people to a special preview day in its new home in Cambridge. The centre will be opening on Saturday and Sunday, June the 8th and 9th, to allow the general public to view and interact with a selection of computing history and see what the future will hold for this amazing facility. The centre, based on a museum founded in Haverhill, is in the process of moving to its new premises in Rennie Court, Coldham's Lane, in Cambridge, near the Beehive Centre, and will be open both days from 9:30 AM to 4:30 PM. Our poll question about whether the Burton Centre in Haverhill should be retained for youth facilities produced a majority in favour in quite a close split. There were 59% for and 41% against. A new poll is now on, asking if our representatives should be working harder to pursue the renewal of the rail link from Haverhill to Cambridge. And now for some of your comments in our regular feature, Sound Off. There has been a lot of comment this week about Councillor Brown's letter in favour of the railway, and about the Vision 2031 planning document, and plenty of celebration of the political demise of Councillor Guy McGregor. How Revy writes, "On a positive note, it's great that McGregor has been sacked from the Cabinet. Grasp the nettle, Haverhill, and let's sort out the High Street for the better with Councillor Newman." JXB is not happy that Vision 2031 is being approved, writing, "Whilst I appreciate there is a need for more housing, particularly executive type, I do not believe there is a need for such a vast increase in the size of the town, particularly with no infrastructure planned, such as shops, businesses, and particularly decent transport links to both Cambridge and Bury. Social housing may well be something that is needed, but in my view should be paid for on a real needs basis, as I have had to do over many years, and not something that is a right just because some teenager has got herself pregnant." But Fred says, "We do need more houses. Currently the population of Haverhill is still too few to attract large business or retail. We are stuck in the annoying position of not being a small village or a large town. Haverhill will never return to the former, so it's better for the town to become the latter. More houses means more investment, and there is a shortage of affordable housing, and at the other end of the spectrum, executive housing. We have too many middle ground houses in Haverhill." Virtually everyone is in favour of the railway, although some doubt it could ever happen. How Revy writes, "Tony is the first Haverhill County Councillor I have ever heard fighting for a railway for Haverhill. Well done, that man. Rumour has it, Councillor Newman likes trains." As adds, "More support behind the railway. I think Haverhill may well do well with Tony." And Kangle Boy says, "If you look on the satellite map, most of the old route still exists. Let's aim for the stars," from one who remembers the old railway. "Oh, and while we're at it, let's have it electrified." So there's plenty there to think about, and if you'd like to add your comments, please do by going to www.haverhilluk.co.uk and going to the local issues message board. And finally, a business network in Haverhill is planning a Buy Local campaign week in June. The Best of Haverhill is promoting a Buy Local week from June the 3rd to the 9th to focus attention on the benefits of buying locally for both consumers and businesses. It aims to encourage local people to do more for Haverhill and to consider the impact of their buying behaviour on the local economy. Elaine Carr of the Best of Haverhill says we have some fantastic shops and businesses in Haverhill, and it's vitally important that we actually use local shops and suppliers or we'll lose them. She said the purpose of the Buy Local campaign was to remind people that where they spend their money really matters. They couldn't go around complaining about what Haverhill had to offer and then shopping elsewhere. Supporting local procurement is part of the new Haverhill Chamber of Commerce manifesto, which was launched in April. Paul Dono, chairman of the Haverhill Chamber, said encouraging local procurement was high on their agenda. And while the ability to transact online made life so much easier for everyone, there was no denying that the impact on traditional businesses had been huge. He said the Buy Local campaign asked people to take a step back and to rethink how and where they were spending their money. And that's all for today, but join us again on Friday and keep up to date by following us on Twitter. Meanwhile, here is the weather for the rest of the week.